Good morning. Now, in the previous sections, we have seen that it is the sequence of the bases in the DNA that determine the genetic information of a given organism. Now, genetic makeup किसी भी organism का और an individual वो DNA के अंदर ही होता है. So, अगर दो individuals differ करते हैं तो that is the DNA sequences should also be different. At least in some spaces, if not the entire. So all these assumptions, they led to the quest of finding out the complete DNA sequence of human beings, and human genome we also call it as. So genetic engineering techniques, now it is possible to isolate and clone any piece of DNA, and its availability is also simple and fast techniques for determining the DNA sequences. A very ambitious project, that is sequencing human genome, was launched in the year 1990. Now, Human Genome Project is a mega project. It's a very big project, and the requirement of the projects, where we simply define the aims of this project as follows. Human Genome Project is said to have approximately 3 into 10 to the power 9 base pairs. They are present, and if the cost of sequencing we just consider, it is nearly US dollars, that is 3 per base pairs. The estimated cost in the beginning, it was there. So the total estimated cost of this project is approximately 9 billion US dollars. So if the sequences are obtained and they are sorted in different forms in the books, and each page of the book contained 1,000 letters and each book contained 1,000 pages, then 3,300 such books would be required to store the information of the DNA. So that is again a very cumbersome process. So this information is so vast that it cannot be stored like that. So enormous amount of data expected to be generated also, and the use of very high speed computational devices, they are required for data storage, their retrieval and their analysis. So Human Genome Project was closely associated with the rapid development of the new era in biology, that is bioinformatics. So what are the goals of Human Genome Project? Now in the goals, we'll see that we identify all approximately 20,000 to 25,000 genes in the human DNA. We determine the sequence of the 3 billion chemical base pairs that make up human DNA, and we store this information in the databases, and improve tools for data analysis, they are required. We transfer all related technologies to other sectors such as industries, and we address the ethical, legal and social issues that may arise from the project. So the Human Genome Project, it is a old project that is coordinated with the US Department of Energy and National Institute of Health. And during the early years of the Human Genome Project, the Wellcome Trust UK became a major partner. Additional contributions came from Japan, France, Germany, China and others. The project was completed in 2003, and the knowledge about the effects of DNA variations among individuals, it results in revolutionary ways of diagnosis and treat. Someday it prevents the thousands of disorders which affect the human beings, and besides providing clues of understanding human biology about non-human organisms, DNA sequence can also lead to understanding of their natural capabilities, which can be applied towards solving the challenges in healthcare, agriculture, energy production, environmental remediation, and non-human model organisms such as bacteria, yeast. One more is mentioned in the NCERT, that is Cyanur habitus elegans, is a free-living non-pathogenic nematode. Drosophila, fruit fly, plants, rice, Arabidopsis, etc., they have also been sequenced. So methodologies. Now what are the methodologies that are adopted in the Human Genome Project? The method involved is the two major approaches. One approach is focused on identifying all the genes that are expressed in the RNA, which are referred to as expressed sequence tags. and the other took the blind approach of simply sequencing the whole set of genome that contain all the coding and non-coding sequences, and later assigning different regions to the sequences that function in terms, and these are called as sequence annotations. So for sequencing, the total DNA from a cell is isolated and converted into random fragments of very small sizes. DNA is a very long polymer, and there are limitations in sequencing very long pieces of DNA, and they are cloned in suitable host with special vectors. So the cloning resulted into amplifications of each piece of DNA fragment so that it could be sequenced with ease. So the commonly used hosts, they are BAC here, bacteria and yeast. These are the vectors which were called as bacterial artificial chromosome and yeast artificial chromosome. So these fragments were sequenced using automated DNA sequences that worked on the principle to develop by Frederick Sanger. Now Sanger is also credited for developing methods of determining the amino acid sequences in proteins also. So these sequences are arranged based on some overlapping regions present in them. So they are arranged in the form of the overlapping regions that are present in them, and this required overlapping fragments for sequences. So these sequences, they are aligned, and this is humanly not possible. Therefore special computer based programs they were developed. So special computer based programs, they were developed, and these sequences are then annotated. They were assigned to each chromosome, and these chromosome 1. So we see that the chromosome 1 was completed only in May 2006, and this was the last of the 24 human chromosomes, 22 autosomes and X and Y to be sequenced. Another challenging task was assigning the genetic and physical maps on the genome. So this was generated using information of polymorphism, of the restriction endonuclease recognition sites, and some repetitive DNA sequences which are known as microsatellites, one of the applications of polymorphism in repetitive DNA sequences, which we'll be explaining in DNA fingerprinting in the next presentation. So let's discuss some of the salient features of the Human Genome Project. Now these are the human genome actually consists of 3164.7 million nucleotide bases, and the average gene consists of 3000 bases, but size varies with the largest known human gene, that is dystrophin. Dystrophin is at 2.4 million bases. So the total number of genes is estimated to be 30,000, which is much lower than the previous estimate of 80,000 to 1,40,000. Almost 99.9% nucleotide bases are exactly same in all individuals. So the functions, they are unknown for 50% of the discovered genes. So every gene do not have a function. Some of them, they are still unknown, and less than 2% of the genome, they codes for proteins. Now repeated sequences make up very large portion of the DNA. Repeated sequences, they are in the very large portion of the human genome, and these repeated sequences, they are the stretches of the DNA sequences that are repeated many times, sometimes hundreds or 1,000 times, and they are having no direct coding functions, but they also show light on the chromosomal structure, dynamics and evolution. Chromosome 1 has most genes, that is 2968, and the Y has the fewest, that is 231. Scientists have identified about 1.4 million locations where single base DNA differences, that is SNPs, we call it as single nucleotide polymorphism, as SNPs, they also occur in humans, and this information revolutionizes the process of finding chromosomal locations for disease associated sequences and also tracing human history. Now, what are the applications and the future challenges of this project? Now we get the knowledge about DNA sequences in the research through the various in the coming years or coming decades, we understanding of the biological systems that is required, and this task requires very expert and creativity of many scientists from various disciplines in public and private sectors worldwide. So one of the greatest impact having the human genome sequence maybe enabling the radically new approach in the biological research. And researchers, they studied one or few genes at a time, but the whole genome sequence, and a very high through technologies, they can approach questions systematically and on a much broader scale. So they can study all the genes in a genome, for example, all the transcripts in a particular tissue or organ or tumor, or how tens of thousands of genes and proteins work together, that is interconnected networks, to study the chemistry of life. That can These are the major future challenges that will be faced in the human genome project.